Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a closer look at the Fade Out. This is the deluxe edition by, I believe it's Image Comics, and it's by Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, and colours done by Elizabeth Breitweiser. So let's take a closer look at the book itself, and then we can come back and discuss my thoughts overall. This is an oversized hardcover by Image Comics, I believe. Yeah, Image Comics. So we've got the creators down the side and the fade out. Various kind of quotes and a kind of synopsis of the book on the back here. It says crime mystery for mature. And then we've got this very classic kind of Hollywood image on the front of the book. As with most oversized hardcovers, this is a sewn bind, so it lifts up really well, and I had no trouble with it lying out. The other thing that's really good in this book is, and actually in a lot of Ed Brubaker books, is that he kind of, whether or not it's his choice or Sean Phillips' choice, they kind of leave these gutters quite open in their kind of books, so there's no even picture in those areas. So there's no worry as far as what you're going to lose in the gutter of the books, even if they don't have a decent kind of bind. At the start here, we've got a very simple contents page. Ed Brubaker's kind of known for that. It doesn't really break down every issue or anything like that. So we've got the intro on page 6, the cast of characters on page 8, and then the book starts on page 11, and extras on page 341. So this is the introduction, and then this is quite cool. So this is our sort of Hollywood cast. So we've got almost like a yearbook of each of the characters in the book for us to build a reference back to at any point, which is kind of cool. And then we jump straight into the story with our main kind of character. We have page numbers and the name of the book down at the bottom of every page, so you always know where you are if that's something that kind of bothers you. And then at the start of each issue, we typically get a kind of breakdown page with some sort of art on it, and then we'll get a sort of title at the top of the start of each kind of issue. It doesn't distinctly say this is a new issue or which issue number it is, but it does give you the title. And I believe that goes through for every issue if I skip through. So there's another one here, say for instance another break, and then you've got another black bar, yeah. So I'm going to skip to the tail end and look at the extras, because there's always extras in Brubaker books. So there's a bunch of essays and illustrations that came from the original single issues. So he likes to have things that are similarly toned or things in the back of his book. So if there's like an issue about a specific crime, he'll maybe have another crime story that might be based on or something in the back of the book, or just an essay that someone's wrote that's quite cool. I think he just likes to support other people and other writers in the medium, which is quite cool, and he usually gets a really cool artist as well to do those sections, if it isn't Sean Phillips himself doing it. So I don't think the essays are necessarily in here. There's not very many of them. We may get one or two, but that's the art that we do with them. That's maybe one of the essays. So yeah, there's not actually much of that, and then there's some research stuff here as to just how we kind of put concepts and things together, layouts of rooms. You've got Sean Phillips sitting posing for his own sort of work, and then you can take that to here and be like, okay, so that's how I'm going to lay out that. So that's quite cool. And then just the build up of art kind of over time as various kind of sections and things are added to it. That's really cool. and then biographies of our creators at the back. So we've got Ed Brubaker, which is our writer, we've got Sean Phillips, which is our illustrator, and then Elizabeth Brightweiser, which is our colourist, and they've basically been a team for the longest time for most of Ed Brubaker's writing. So I didn't read the synopsis at the start, so let's just do that quickly just now. It says, a noir film stuck in endless reshoots, a writer plagued by nightmares from the war, a movie starlet's suspicious death, her replacement's suspicious past, and a mogul and a security chief willing to do anything to keep cameras rolling as the Red Scare and the Blacklist begin to tear the town apart. An epic mystery that is about much more than murder. So the Fade Out to me is an interesting sort of book, because on the sort of outskirts looking in, the very, very basic premise is that you're sort of in this very, I forget which sort of decade it is because it's way before my time, but older kind of time, movie making kind of decade, and someone's been murdered, one of their kind of stars. I believe one of the guys woke up in the room where she was dead, if I remember correctly, and tries to sort of figure out what happened from that kind of premise. When you get more into the little niggly things, so there's a sort of love triangle going on between this guy. He's the name that's writing this sort of films or kind of shows, and then his friend is actually the one writing them, and they both kind of have a relationship with their friend's wife. So there's three of them in this kind of love triangle of what's kind of going on there, and there's various things that have happened between them that strain that relationship quite a lot. Anyone who's communist is not allowed to work in Hollywood, and they're kind of pushing them out, and that's why this guy has to write under this other guy because of his belief structure, I believe. So there's that kind of underpinning stories going on there as well. This guy who's kind of hiding things and being the security side goes way beyond the call of kind of duty of what he's kind of cleaning up. There's a further story about the new starlet who's now taken the place of the one who died, and what happened to her in her past, and who's kind of screwing with her. And I think it's just a much wider look at the industry in that time, more so than it is the murder mystery, although the murder mystery is what keeps the story kind of going on. I think it's a really interesting story. I think it's not necessarily for everyone, and there's a lot of hidden depth and other layers in there which are quite easy to miss and skip over if you're only reading the murder mystery and ignoring the rest of it. The biggest thing for me in a lot of these books is that they're based in the time that they were set, so the language, how people treat each other and things is all based on that, and that makes for a much more interesting story, even for a bland story, because you've got people speaking a certain way, dressing a certain way, acting a certain way towards each other, and that can be drastically different. Other than that, I mean, the crime side of it is very Ed Brubaker. It's very sort of dark noir kind of things, and it's all about crunching things in your head and getting over kind of moral dilemmas and stuff as well. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really kind of good book overall. You might be able to get this on eBay or somewhere else, but a lot of the Ed Brubaker books right now are currently out of print, and obviously with everything going on in the world, they're not exactly going to be pumping them out again anytime soon, so the paperback might be the easier way to go, and a bit kind of cheaper for you. There's obviously still the option to go digital, but generally creators don't earn as much through digital, so it's not something I recommend, but it is an option, especially as I say in the kind of times right now where you might not be able to get printed copies. Alright guys, I hope you guys check this out yourself if you haven't already. Let me know what your thoughts are if you have read this book, and you know what format you plan on picking it up if you do plan on picking it up off the kind of back of this. I have heard a few people recently that have read this and didn't really enjoy it so much. So I'd be interested to hear sort of you guys' opinions as well in the mix, and just kind of see specifically what it was that maybe you didn't enjoy. It'd be interesting to see both ends of the kind of scale. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see more videos like this in future, and I'll see you guys next time.